See you in 5. That's just being cheeky. No, see me now at 18:31. I mean, that's pretty good, if you ask me. Pretty much on time, or certainly from my end. I mean, depending on the delay. Good evening. We're finally back on a Monday night show where we can get on with Conquest. It's been too long trying to wait for this one to come through. It's been 2 weeks now, is it? Or is it 2 weeks? I can't remember exactly how long it's been. My kids are not going to bed, which is, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's brilliant. Late as usual. Oh, thank you very much. Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't late. So, but I'm here now. It's 18:32 according to my watch. But yeah, anyway, but the point is, let me give a quick shout out to the names going across the screen, which 2 of you are in the house already. Tim, Wayne and Reese. You guys are my 3rd tier patrons and up, who get a nice little shout out. Well, this is, yeah, I'm going to get cracking on with this. All of my links, as usual, are in down there. If you want to help support the channel, feel free to check them out. But I think we'll get cracking on with this tonight, shall we? Shall we have a look and see what is inside here? Because, I mean, most of you have probably already seen various videos of telling me what's going on. But feel free, have a chat, ask me questions, and we'll get this thing opened up. Noisy. It's Poxwalkers this week, which I've already done some Poxwalkers. There is a video on the way soon. I haven't finished, I'm recording it, but I haven't released it, not to my patrons yet either. But we have got some, yeah, we've got some Poxwalkers on the way. Is the stream lagging? Probably. You've not seen inside number 4 yet. It probably is lagging. It's lagging everywhere. I have got it on Facebook here. That's lagging. YouTube is over on my, I don't know, I can't hear it, so I don't know if it's lagging, but I imagine it probably will do. One day when we get support, I will get much better internet. But we'll have a look at the Poxwalkers shortly. So we'll have a look. How is it when you watch it afterwards? I don't tend to sit and watch it afterwards, but you tend to, Wayne, you tend to watch after the show, don't you? So I wondered whether, how does it look when it's done? It's lagging on your TV, not on your phone. I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I reckon. You've probably got my slow internet plus any slow internet the other way, and it all just adds up, I reckon. If I can try and close down, I'm going to close down the, what's it there. I'll be a little bit slower to respond. I'm just trying to close down some of the things that I've got going on my end. Anyway, let's have a gander through this magazine, shall we? And let's see what's inside. Obviously this is issue number 4, so we've got Poxwalkers, and we've got a discussion about what Poxwalkers are. Oh, there's a little snippet about Typhus here. What's this? Oh, that's interesting. We got Typhus is a character that we're going to be getting at some point. It's not lagging when you watch later. Well, that's handy. A little snippet about who Typhus is. That's cool. I'm looking forward to getting him and painting up the characters. So plenty of them. This is something I didn't know actually. I was just looking at this. I didn't realise that Death Guard have different colours. Wi-Fi to phone to Chromecast. Yeah, I think you're probably going to have a bit of an issue with lagging going on there, I reckon. Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. So I didn't realise that Nurgle have different colours. So when I'm, you know, that's even more of a reason. You know how I keep talking about there is nothing wrong with painting the way you want to paint? Even with Death Guard, which is an entire army unto themselves, I didn't realise that even they had different chapters, as it were. or companies. I think they're called warbands, aren't they? But I didn't realise that, you know, you could literally paint them any different colour you want. So that's something I didn't know about them. So they have, oh, there we go, hundreds of individual warbands make up the Death Guard, known as Vectoriums. These forces fight as self-contained armies and have their own colour schemes. Something I didn't know. So you don't have to paint them like GW do, because you can create your own warband. So that's cool. I don't think mine, I didn't know this when I started painting mine. I don't think mine are particularly the same as anybody else. I mean, I do a little bit darker this, so this is maybe the fecund ones, I don't know. But it's nice, I mean, even in black. So, you know, you don't even have to paint them green. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's in the codex. I don't have the codex yet, so I didn't realise that. I will be getting the codex because I've got a lot of Death Guard now. So, yeah. It is interesting. Unlike the other magazines, this is going straight into building. There's not much fluff in terms of battles and stuff. It's literally, these are the Poxwalkers. These are the different colours. Now let's build your Poxwalkers. So we'll get on with that shortly. They kind of follow a structured chapter setup. I didn't know that. But I suppose I'll have to get the codex at some point and have a read through. And then we got how to paint your Poxwalkers. Apparently, here we go. There's an interesting thing. I can't remember who did the video. But you know the whole issue about not priming your miniatures? Apparently GW has responded by saying that the base coats don't need priming. They almost work on as a brush on primer. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But apparently the base coats don't need priming, which is why they tell you not to prime it. Which is what, or more to the point, which is why they don't bother priming these models. Whether that's true or a cop-out, I have no idea. But in my opinion, I'd much rather just prime my models and make sure, to be fair. But it's interesting actually as well, these easy build Poxwalkers. Excuse me. 2 of them are one-piece models. They don't need anything. Which is handy. You don't have to glue any of it together. You just get it straight onto the base, which is nice. There will be a video coming out soon, specifically for you Patreon members. $5 or above, you get early access to those. And I do have a Poxwalker currently. He's just here. He's in the process of being painted. It's not on autofocus, so you can't really see it. But yeah, he is being painted, and there will be a video about that. Thank you for the offer, Wayne, but I will be buying my own because I've got all of the army. Because I've got this army coming, and I have the Dark Imperium stuff. I will be buying my own. I just need to just order it, basically. But thank you for the offer. Right, how are we doing with these? Death Guard green. And this is an interesting. This is interesting. So basically, they've got a base for the Poxwalkers. They've got a base of Death Guard green, and then they're just picking out the tentacles, picking out the black. Yeah, I really don't like this. Picking out the metal. I really don't like this. I think the way that I've got a video coming out about how to paint these guys is going to be much better than what you're going to get with these. I really don't like this look, but you know. Where's the big... Oh yeah, you're right, sorry. I have completely skipped this screen, haven't I? There we go. That's better. You don't have to sit here looking at my mug. There we go. If you want me to go back to any of the places, just let me know and I'll jump back to it. If you want to see anything. Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of this kind of... I really don't like this painting. The way that I've got something on the way, I've got some on the way. The video that I've got is so easy, much easier, and then paler as well. It's not just green that makes it look sickly. It's all the other colours that I add to it that make it look nicer. And some weird colours going on here. We got poxwalkers with hang on a minute, can I change the let's change the, hang on a minute, I've got a, where's the camera? Configure this. Now this is bizarre. Can we see that? Can we see? They got some weird colours going on in there. There's some bizarre colour schemes. I don't like that. The way that I've got it, yeah. Actually, now that I've changed the camera, let's have a look. See if I can bring this guy up. Can we bring this guy up? Can you see this guy? Let's bring some light down on him. I think that looks a little bit better than what they've got going on. So yeah, we'll get some of that. Yeah, no blue bits on the poxwalkers is a bit weird. Let's have a look. I'm missing some of the chat here. I would like to read it. Okay, I can send it to you, Tim, via Will, if he doesn't mind, and then you can get it. I can embed it. It's yeah, it's all the way to Holland. Yeah, that would be it'd be a very expensive trip. Righty ho. Let's have again. Right, so we're going to add some Bugman's Glow. Bugman's Glow to the skin of the Space Marine. That's not a problem. I mean, that's pretty standard, especially if you're painting it like you are in the model. I mean, I didn't have any of the skin on show with this one, so I'll actually be able to skip the Bugman's Glow for the Primaris Marine. But Bugman's Glow on this guy, which I suppose I'll have to if I'm going to be painting it the same way. And then this is cool, because now what we're going to do now is we're moving on into, they're adding a bit more to the game here. It's adding the different types of squads, so you know, teaching people there are different types of squads and they move differently, even in your own army. Teaching you down here in this corner is teaching you about how yeah, the poxwalkers are not as tough as the plague marines. So you're changing it. I like how they're teaching you very simply. It's you know, it's not giving you. If you notice, it hasn't even given you a stat line to the individual models. It's kind of telling you exactly what you need to roll, rather than giving you your data cards, which is cool. And of course, changing, talking about shooting and shooting your different squads, different charging for the different units. It's nice. They've added it nice and slowly, and they're teaching everybody very slowly how to change, how to add rules to your games, which is cool. I do like that. And then obviously, as with most of them, it's giving you a game to play using this rule. I'm on a trip to Amsterdam. A trip to Amsterdam just to read a book. That's yeah, it's just a day trip, isn't it? Right, and then of course we got the Conquest. Subscribe to Conquest, and then we have issues 5 and 6, which I do also have here we'll just get into issue number 5 next week with the very, very ultramarine lieutenant, which I'm not too happy about. But that's the magazine. That's what we got. Pretty decent magazine, I think. It's coming along nicely, and we'll just have a look at the Poxwalkers. And we have a pot of Bugman's Glow, and that's the paint that we have, which is basically it's a skin tone. It's the basic skin tone. And we have the Poxwalkers. How many do we get? 6 Poxwalkers, which is nice. That will get added to the 20 that I already have. Yeah, there we go. There's one of them. One of them there. That's a one-piece Poxwalker there. It's absolutely got nothing. You just clip him out and add him to the sprue. Add him to the base, and then likewise there's the same down there. And if it bothered to, it's not going to focus on that guy, is it? Yeah, it's not going to focus, but yeah. I know a nice place for coffee. In Amsterdam, I suppose there's a lot of nice places for coffee. Yeah, 5 and 6 in the house. Not for me though. Yeah, I know. I'm really disappointed with Hatchet for the way that they're handling this. I am, as of Wednesday, 2 weeks behind. Well, certainly to release the videos. It's not great. I'm a true Englishman, so it'd have to be tea. I'm sure they'll do tea as well. Right. Before we get throwing on some Bugman's Glow onto this model, do you want me to build the Poxwalkers, or do you reckon it'll be a bit boring watching me build those guys? Let me know in the comments as well. Interesting though, as the copies sold in stores, the contents came in cardboard boxes. Yeah, I noticed that as it was coming through. Just my stuff is just thrown in a bag and just put through the door. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about whether, you know, some of the biggest sprues are either going to come broken or going to start damaging the book that they come with. It's yeah, it's a little bit worrying. I agree with you there. There are not many tea shops in Amsterdam, Wayne. There are other shops in Amsterdam. Yeah, there are indeed other shops in Amsterdam. Yes, yes indeed. Right, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that paint. Let's change my screen on my tablet over here. Are all the contents of your issues in see-through cases like your issue number 4? Yep. No, that's only because there's paint in there. Issue number 5, just plain straight in a plastic bag, as with issue number 6, with loose spaces in there. So no, they're not even in little plastic boxes. They're not even in those. So yeah, things are gonna get damaged, I think. Something is gonna get damaged eventually. I like other shops. Yeah. I'm just trying to... Oh I can't even. Oh man. What's going on here? Right. Sorry, your 5 is how it came in store. Oh, is it really? So, oh right. So after issue, what was it? Issue number 3. Although actually, the Poxwalker's in a nice little cardboard box as well. That's better. I'm going to watch it on here, I think. There we go. Righty-ho. Window shot. Huh? I wonder what we're talking about now. Rainfall came in cover one. You see, the thing is, I thought you were talking about herb shopping. Now you're talking about window shopping. I mean, they're two completely different ball games. Yeah. Right. So we had Tim. You said, "Do you want me to get painting?" Right. So we've got the Bugman's Glow, which actually I don't need to use that one because I've already got one open up here because I needed to use that later. So I'll keep that one, the new one, elsewhere. Yeah, we're there's some very different. Right. There's some very different lifestyle choices. I don't do the herb shop. No, I don't herb shop. But neither have I ever considered window shopping either. But you know, you know what they say about when in Rome. Right, let's get the old Citadel starter brush. I hate this brush. It's horrible. But we're going to try and see if we can... You're distracting me. That's fine, that's what this is about. We're having a chat. I haven't been here for a while. Well, I've been here since Thursday, but you know. It's the Monday night show. This is where we start prattling about, having a look at this Conquest magazine. We will paint it in whatever way. We'll certainly paint these two models. Now I ain't got any Bugman's Glow that needs going on this one, but we'll paint the Death Guard like they do. Any questions that you want to ask, that's what we're here for. I think this show today is the proper... I think the Monday night show is the proper show where if you really have no idea, there's no such thing as a stupid question on this show. I do not know if I like the walkers. Let's see some paint and some sex shops in Holland. That's what Google Maps is for. Don't use it then. No, you know what? I want to use this starter brush for this for the Monday night show, just purely just to show you that I don't want to. Yeah, because like I was just saying about this being like the newbie show. Or not really the noob show, but a show where if you haven't painted before, if you're not collecting before, or if you got questions, I don't want people to think that you've got to go out and spend money on Series 7 brushes just to be able to paint, which is why I'm not using me wet palette to paint these guys. I'm using the brushes that they give you in the magazine, I'm using the paints that they give you in the magazine, and that way it's kind of, you know, there's no trickery involved, you know. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm using the crappy brush. You don't have to go in, but it's good fun to walk around. Here's an interesting fact. Do you want to know an interesting fact about 42? Now, of course, the answer 42 came from Deep Thought, right? Which is a big computer. Now, I can't remember exactly what it was all about, but it was Deep Thought was asked, what is the meaning of life? And it needed to know what was the question, or something like that, wasn't it? Anyway, but the point is, Douglas Adams was a big computer nerd, and apparently 42 is something that they use when they're encoding software and stuff, to be used as a placeholder. That was it, because the question was incomplete. The answer was 42, but the question was incomplete. It's almost like Deep Thought gave them a placeholder answer, which is why the answer to life, universe and everything is 42. It made more sense when I read it for the first time. You saw my blow on the nose, it was done with a £2 brush. Exactly. You don't need to spend a ton of money on brushes and so on and so forth. It does help, but you know, I don't want people to think that, you know, the only reason why you can paint well is when you spend money. Right, we're going to move some brushes. We're going to move these cameras around a bit because it's starting to get in the way. Let's move this around. There we go. Whoops. I don't know what I just did there. Knocked something over. Let's bring the focus. Excuse me. Oh, for goodness sake, this is doing my head in. Right, there we go. Focus. Right, hang on, let's bring this into focus. This is really annoying. Get rid of the autofocus. There we go. Right, there we go. Thin your paints. Yep, you got to thin your paints. This is the thing. This is why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it as well. Is that you can see that, you know, I'm using the same stuff you are, and you're not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna. You can get the same results. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. My brain's all over the place tonight. And that's too thin. Add the Bugman's Glow to this, and finally, have you all seen the poster? Issue number 7, I think, is when we get our first washes. Just before getting a librarian. You'll notice that there's going to be 2 characters for the Space Marines, and still no character for the Death Guard. I mean, you'd have thought with a magazine that's designed for newcomers, you'd try and keep it fairly even. But instead, they seem to want to make sure that the Space Marine guys win by giving them psychic powers and a commander with the re-rolls. It's kind of a bit unfair. I now feel like the producers on the Truman Show. I love that movie. fantastic movie. That was brilliant. But it's about time they're giving us washers. I saw that. I was expecting a plague caster or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah, weird. You know, not only are they duplicating models already, which they don't need to be duplicating, not with the amount that they want to be sending out, but they're also heavily stacking the game against the Plague Marines in favour of Space Marines. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, actually, there's a question I need to ask. Actually, is next week we're going to have. Next week we'll open up Lieutenant Calcius, but I kind of don't want him to be as ultramarine-y as he comes. So, you guys watching along, do you want to watch me convert him live? Which could take some time, or would you like a non-live regular video where I go through how I would approach converting a model like that? But surely it will even out later with the Death Guard stuff. It should do. I think some people have worked out the points, and it is fairly even. It's more of a case I'm looking at it in terms of, you know, new players right now are going to feel a little bit overwhelmed. Certainly for the person who chose to do the Death Guard. You know, you're going to get lieutenants and librarians against you, and you're stood there with a handful of Plague Marines and a handful of Poxwalkers. It could possibly feel quite unfair, especially with the power of the lieutenant, who's got 5 wounds, and the Plague Marines, who have 2 wounds. Not Plague Marines, sorry. The Primaris Marines that have 2 wounds each. You're planning on painting Ultramarines anyway. Alright, fair enough. I might just do a video, a separate video then. Just painting him up as, because I'll probably paint him Blood Angels perhaps. But I don't think I need to do videos of painting him, but I do want to convert him to get rid of all the U's that he's got covered in, which I'm really miffed off with. I'm sure we'll talk about that next week. And I haven't mentioned it yet, and I know that you asked me during the week, Wayne. Don't forget the hashtag just down here, BofOPS Conquest. If you've painted any models, or if you're doing anything with any of your models, even if you're just building them and you just want to show off and what you've got, feel free, pop them on the Facebook page, pop them on Instagram, stick the hashtag BofOPS Conquest on them. If you're doing it on Instagram, let me know. If you do it on the Facebook page, I'll get a notification anyway. Part of your wish is you bought a second issue 5. I think it's good value, because most of the time it's always going to be about 15 quid if you were going to buy that off the shop floor. But on the whole, I don't know. It's not good enough value, in my opinion, to warrant it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not that great of a character. It's another lieutenant, and they're bringing out all lieutenants. You know, the amount of lieutenants we got. You got 2 in Dark Imperium. Well, you almost get a new lieutenant almost every single box game that they've been bringing out recently, and like, every single one of them are different. I'm getting a bit sick and tired of lieutenants, to be honest. I think he looks awesome. He looks okay. I think it's more to do with the fact that it's just another lieutenant. I think I'm getting a bit sick of lieutenants, so every time they bring out a new one, I'm like, meh. And I think it stems from when the Blood Angel one came out, and I was really disappointed with it. I've only done the armour on the Death Guard Marine you are painting at the moment, and thanks to the armour it's better, but I'm not 100% happy with it. I may post it. I was thinking of a second in case I cock up the first one while I painted it. Well, that's what Dettol's for, though, to be fair. Or actually, what's better than Dettol is isopropyl alcohol. If you do genuine, I mean, most of the time, if you do cock up painting, if your paint is thin enough, you should actually be all right just painting over it. But if you do need to strip the model, isopropyl alcohol, that'll bring it right off, and it doesn't smell as bad because it actually evaporates and stops smelling, whereas with Dettol it lingers. And I've just realised I actually forgot to paint a dangly bit gold, so we can come in with that at some point and do that. On the whole, get all these tentacles painted. In fact, I missed a lot of the dangly bits actually. I'm guessing they're going to be done in, yeah. I'm new to the hobby. I was wondering, does GW always bring out new models every other day? To be fair, almost every weekend there's something will be on pre-order. There are some weeks where they don't, but yeah, there is new stuff often. It's just a lot of the time it's not actually it's not relevant to what you're playing. And you could go through years without hearing anything about what is relevant, and then all of a sudden you have everything all at once and not have enough money to pay for it. It's an interesting post for him. An interesting post for the lieutenant. I do like the post for the lieutenant. I just wish it wasn't quite so chapter specific. I don't mind converting something, and I don't mind the Ultramarines as a selling point, but for something that is designed for new players, having something so specifically chapter specific, it rubs me up the wrong way a little bit. Thanks to your painted techniques, my Death Guard is better, just like I said to you previously. My dry brush is chalky. Yeah, Is it better now? Have you tried dry brushing again and it's come out better? Or do you mean you've tried it again after talking to me and it's still chalky? Dangly bits. Yeah, dangly bits. You know, there are bits all dangly all over him. I knew what I meant. It's the yeah, the dangly bit. The I think they're tokens, aren't they? Are they? I think they're actually mentioned in one of the Conquest magazines about how they're covered in these fly totem things. I think that's what it is. So I'll do that. See, I'm naughty as well. I just literally pulled it straight out of the tub and went straight to the model. You can do that. You can paint straight onto the model directly from the pot, as long as you paint thin, and it's got to be really super thin. No, not at the time yet. The base coat and the wash are great. Just paused up the dry brushing. How do you avoid chalky dry brushing? Less paint on your brush. Honestly, it's as simple as that. The less paint you've got on your brush, I mean, it takes longer, but once you get to grips with how it's done, it's easier. But yeah, less paint on your brush will give you less chalky appearance. Basically, the chalkiness just comes down to either lumps of paint being deposited onto the corners, or you're catching the flat areas of the model more than you want to, which is leading to a chalky appearance as well. The idea, obviously, with dry brushing is you're highlighting. So theoretically, the only place of the model that you want your dry brush to actually land, the dry paint to actually land on, is the corner of the model. And if it's lumpy, it's going to look chalky, and also if you catch the flat edges. Can the chalkiness be corrected? You could go back over it with a thin base coat, but I don't know. It depends on how chalky it is. You could just go over it with it when you do the wash, and then just fake it as if, you know, it was meant to do that. I mean, these are no. I mean, if it's the Nurgle Marines that you're doing, they're supposed to look a bit grungy and grimy anyway. So it's difficult to get them wrong because they're not supposed to look clean and nice. So I suppose it depends on how bad it is. Like I said, if you just pop them on, pop a picture on the Facebook page, or if you don't want to post it on the Facebook page, you can always do it via Messenger. You can send me a message and I'll have a look at it and see what it looks like. But you can either do it. I'll try and get you a good picture so you can see what I mean. Yeah, definitely. Right. Well, he's now painted up to date. I don't have... Yeah, I haven't got any... There's no more, and I mean, there's no more painting to do on these models for the next 2 weeks. Issue number 5 and 6 don't have paints with them. Which is the next time I put paint on these will be issue number 7. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at these Poxwalkers, shall we? Certainly some of these that don't need gluing. Well, actually, none of them need gluing. They're push fit. But we'll pull some of these off because we're having plenty of chatting. Unless, of course, there's no more chatting to be done. Off, and we'll take this one off here as well. These guys will need priming at some point. I'll get them done. I do have a there's a kill team game with Reese tomorrow. Same time, same place. Well, 7 o'clock here on all 3 channels. I guess I can watch some HP when it starts in 15 minutes. HP? I don't know what that is. Some of these Poxwalkers are from Dark Imperium. Yeah, I think they are. Only they're put together differently. Certainly this guy, he looks familiar. Although, having said that, hang on a minute. Working on battlesuit, want to do some magnetizing. Magnetizing. Love magnets. Harry Potter. Oh, Harry Potter. Oh, right. Okay, it starts in 15 minutes, right? Not all of that. Sorry, Dutch joke. HP also stands for. Oh, okay. Oh, what is it with you, Dutchin? Dear. Let's have a gander. Right. I thought that there was a model that looked just like this with the really big, really weird arm. But I'm having a look and I can't see one. I'm just showing. I've got all of them now. I've got all of the ones from Dark Imperium. Let's have a look. Lots of models. So I mean about these things coming from, you know, the whole. I prefer the lighter colour because you can add horrible greeny bits rather than starting with green as a base. I think we're all right as long as we haven't really nobody's really explained what's going on here, so I think we're all right. Right, there's a lot of Poxwalkers. I did these Poxwalkers in a week, by the way. Well, less than a week. They're really not that difficult to do. I haven't seen any duplicates yet, certainly not of this guy anyway. Yeah, there are 10 poses in Dark Imperium. I'm gonna have a look through these and see if we can find any duplicates. I actually thought that this was a duplicated one, but it's not, which is handy. So we'll get that scraped off. This is one of the single piece models. So we get him glued onto there, well, stuck onto there, whatever. There we go. This one's definitely different. We have not crossed the line yet. No, we definitely haven't crossed the line yet. A week. I worked on 10 for about 4 days and only got as far as the skin. Well, if you follow, like I said, follow my videos. It's all about how to do it in terms of making things as simple as possible. These poxwalkers, literally, is a little bit of base coating, and the rest of it is just washing it and dry brushing it. Nice and simply, nothing complicated. We're not layering it, we're not edge highlighting it, we're not blending anything, we're literally just dry brushing it. Just making the most out of nice simple techniques. They just get you shooting through them nice and quickly. So I mean, theoretically, even if you painted slowly, you should theoretically be able to pick one of these models up, and even if you concentrated on just one of them, you get the whole thing done in one day. Simple is good for you. Yeah, I mean, even being a slow painter and you just literally just wanted to concentrate on one because that's all you could cope with, that's my plan, is to just keeping it nice and simple so that one poxwalker a day, you'd still get it done, you know, theoretically. Yeah, I mean, it'll take you 6 days to get through the poxwalkers from the magazine, but you know, that would be 6 days and then you're ready for the next one. Oh, orcs, I tried orcs once and I just gave up. But with the orcs, you see, the thing is, with the orcs, I tried being a bit too clever with them, and they ended up slowing me down. It properly felt like a slog, which is why I gave up. If I put my mind to it, I could have these 6 poxwalkers probably done tomorrow if I wanted to. I've got a commission on the go at the minute yet, so I can't really get on with them. And like I said, I've got these 19 here. Is it 19 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 19, and then I've got the one on the shelf at the minute, which I'm currently painting for videos, which takes me a little bit longer. I badge paint, but I find it hard to concentrate. Yeah, I know the feeling. It can be difficult. I mean, how many do you paint at once? There could be, if you're still finding it difficult with batch painting, it could be that your batches are too big. I tried batch painting some Space Marines, nice and simply tried doing 10 at once. It wasn't a particularly difficult scheme and I couldn't do it. And it wasn't until recently I found out it's because I can't do 10 models at once. I can only do 5 models at a time. Even on simple schemes, I can only really concentrate on 5 models at a time. The poxwalkers were different because of how small they were. I could shoot through them, but for a Space Marine I can only do 5 at a time. I did some things with my that I did like, so they're sitting on the side. Congrats on the commission. I've been commission painting for a couple of years. Just not many people ask about it. Maybe I should get some alcohol stuff. Yeah, isopropyl alcohol, 100% stuff, 100% neat. That's the stuff you need. Don't bother getting anything less than that. And honestly, it just, the paint just lifts off the model. A lot of people will tell you to use Dettol, which again, the paint will lift off the model, but then it stinks to high heaven. And the smell hangs around. It's a nightmare. I've painted units of 20 Empire soldiers in one go. I don't actually know what Empire soldiers look like, but Jesus, that sounds like a lot. No, you have, mate, but I'm not sure how often you get a commission. I've usually got a commission on the go. It just takes me forever to get through them. well, I could show you that the commission that I've had, what I've got at the minute, I do have. Let's move this up here. We've got some. We got some custodies on there, yeah. They're sat there, and then if we lift up. Oh, hang on. Let's go there. Right, there we go. We have got. I can never remember what a fire raptor. We got those, a couple of tyrannid organisms going on there, and then all of this. If I could pull the cable a bit, we got dystopian wars. It's really difficult to see because the light isn't on it properly. But dystopian wars. It's almost finished. The commission is almost finished, but yeah, it's been sat there for a while. I need to get rid of it. I need to get it done. It's been a while. The skin is fine, but the yellow not so great. Yeah, yellow. Have you done the? Did you do the yellow the same way I told you? Base coat, dry brush, and wash. It took me a while. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, 20 models in one go. That's a nightmare. Wow, they're amazing. Well, thank you very much. What we got going on here? I seem to have something seems to have crashed. No, that seems to have stopped working on there. Oh no, it's working now. Right, excellent. Right, let's bring this back over here. Dry brush and wash. Yeah, so with yellow, right, with yellow. Hang on a sec, let me get them. In the order in which I would do it, I would base coat it. Base coat Avalon Sunset. Now you're not going to get Avalon Sunset to go over black or anything like that. You do need to make sure it's a fairly light colour. But Avalon Sunset, you then give it a dry brush of the Hexios Pale Sun, and then give the whole thing a wash with Cassandora Yellow. The reason why I say that is if you just bear with me a second, and I can actually bring it up on the stream, is if I find add an image. I've only done the base coat. That might be why. But you'd need to make sure that the yellow goes onto a nice base first, because then once you've done that, let's bring that there. There we go. Nobody's talking in Facebook, so there we go. And so then you've got that, which is literally, no word of a lie. The whole thing's primed grey as usual. I don't prime in any other colour. After I did the orc skin, I did the skin first obviously because I had to try and get down in there. But once I'd done that, I based it in Avalon Sunset, or more to the point, to be fair, I did base it in a Vallejo equivalent, which is oh, hang on a minute. It would help if I did hang on a minute. It would help if I did that first, wouldn't it, before I start talking about them. So I did the green after I primed in grey. Only base coat members washing machine. Yeah, they were already painted black. Okay, yeah. If you'd already painted black, you need to lighten up the black by painting over it in grey. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how well they look on the stream. On an HD monitor, they look fine. But if I bring this over here, it wasn't quite. It was. It's game colour heavy gold brown is what I used. Which is the Avalon Sunset kind of equivalent. But then they get dry brushed with the that, and it's quite a heavy dry brush, but they get dry brushed, and then they get washed with Cassandora yellow, and that then the yellow ties them together. That it gives them, it's almost like you're glazing and shading at the same time. So you're shading the yellow with yellow, but then you're also tying the two other colours together so that they're more closer together on the colour spectrum, as it were. And so yeah, I mean that's what we got. What did I just? Oh, hang on a minute. So yeah, that's yellow. That's yellow. It's a really simple way of doing yellow, where you're not gonna yellow is not one of those colours that you need to worry about. It's not that difficult to do yellow, and in fact, actually, the wash afterwards, I think, kind of helped cover up some of the sins. So yeah, where were we? There. So I'm actually having a look at these. I think that all of these are actually different. I don't think any of these poses are the same as Dark Imperium. They are all completely different. So if you wanted to, you can have 16. If you had Dark Imperium Poxwalkers, as well as the Conquest Poxwalkers, which are actually there's a starter box, isn't there? You will have all of them completely different. Yeah, White Router can will do you fine. Yeah, if you want to, yeah, strip the orcs. Yeah, by the sound of it, if you'd already painted them black and then tried to paint yellow over black, that will never work. So you're probably better off getting yourself some isopropyl alcohol, 100% proof. Strip them down. It'll literally take you a few minutes to start getting the paint off of those things. Strip them down to nothing. Prime them either grey or white, and yeah, then do your yellow again. I can't remember what that box set that the first 6 issues of this Conquest magazine is actually. Is it No Fear? You're literally getting everything, including the dice, and you'll be saving about £5, I think, if I remember rightly. I could have a look online. Scrape the gubbins off of that one, and glue, push that together. I'll get some more rocks, so I'll see what I want to do with the already painted ones. Yes, strip them and repaint them. There's nothing wrong with that. How did you glue them together? Did you glue them with plastic glue? Let's have a look. We'll go to Games Workshop. Games Workshop. think it's called No Fear. Yeah, No Fear. Oh, that's interesting. The No Fear Poxwalkers is one of the sprues from the Dark Imperium box set. So these are the easy to build Poxwalkers. You just pause the live feed. Oh dear. Tim has a message redacted. Why does... I paint like Maurice with everything on sticks. See, I've learned to not do that anymore. I've started to paint with as much as I can with everything pre-built. But then, having said that, commission painting, you don't have time to do everything in bits and pieces. So that might be why. Yeah, wrong message. Oh, okay. You've not glued anything together. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't glued anything together, you should be able to strip it nicely. It's when you start gluing everything together with plastic glue and then realizing that actually you want to do it differently, that's when you can start having problems. Plastic glue is permanent. That's why I try not to use it. I used it on the assault bike, but there's really only one way that assault bike was going to go together anyway, and I was running out of super glue. Thinking of building a complete battle suit instead of everything on sticks. Yeah, I mean, what you need to do is, if you're going to build something, think of it in terms of how you're going to paint it. If you start, and that's the importance of dry fitting as well, is if you can cast your mind back to the Thursday night when when I built that attack bike, I didn't glue the marine on, and I didn't glue the passenger on, knowing that when I was painting it, the marine and the passenger would get in the way. The rider and the passenger would get in the way, so I haven't glued them on. But I did glue the rider and the passenger together, so that they're in, so that bike is now in 3 pieces. I'm glad the Conquest Poxwalkers is opposed to the Dark Imperium minis. Yeah, I am a little bit as well. I mean, it's bad enough that I've got 2 of each one already. And so it's nice to see that I now have 26 Poxwalkers and I've got 16 variants. I haven't looked to see what the Poxwalkers from Games Workshop Direct are without using the Dark Imperium or No Fear. I can have a quick look actually now. I have a funny feeling that they're easy to build Poxwalkers. Okay, so the only Poxwalkers you can buy from Games Workshop are the easy build ones that you've got from here, so you can only actually buy 6 more You can only buy them in 6s or buy an entire game system before you can buy. Oh, that kind of sucks. You can't actually add to them without buying a box set. That can't be right, surely. Let's find Death Guard. So yeah, so the Poxwalkers from Conquest are the easy to build Poxwalkers that you will buy from the Games Workshop website. And then the only other way to get Poxwalkers is, by the looks of it, is to buy Dark Imperium. So that kind of sucks, which is a different set. So you can either buy 10 or 6. Oh, well, that's a little bit frustrating. You can't buy the sprue of 10 Poxwalkers individually. Not unless you want to pay a scalper on eBay. Which is slightly frustrating. We got one more dude here. I mean, what's the point of this? You've got his head. That's it. His body is in one piece, and then literally just his head to get pushed on. What's the point of that? I think I agree with you though. I was under the impression that these Poxwalkers would have been the Dark Imperium ones, but then I was also under the assumption that everything you could buy from, well, actually, to be fair, you can buy these. These are the easy to build Poxwalkers, so you can buy these separately. I'm just surprised that Games Workshop don't sell the 10. I mean, with a unit like Poxwalkers, surely you want more and more and more of them. But I don't know. Scrape the mod lines off of this single head without losing it. I wonder if we're going to get some. We're going to get some more Poxwalkers, aren't we? You can have up to 20 in a single unit. Wow, really? That many? Oh right, yeah. So the Dark Imperium ones are a single unit. That would have made sense for them to have given us the Dark Imperium ones then. Although the Dark Imperium ones are not easy to build, and that might have been why they gave us these ones and not the Dark Imperium ones. But you know. There they are. Let's bring this down and have a look at this in all its disgusting glory. Let's lower this down. Oh yeah, that's my table. Let's bring that up to see all of those disgusting things. Yeah, there's plenty of them in there. Quite happy with that. That'll do quite nicely. Yeah, I think you see at least 20 in the full collection picture from Conquest one. Maybe more. You know what? I think what we could do actually, let's get rid of these poxwalkers off of the table, and we'll have a quick look before we close tonight's stream down, because there's not really much else left to do. Let's move these guys out of the way. I'll tidy up after I've ended the stream. Let's lift the light up out of the way. Let's have a look here. I'm interested, actually, to be honest with you. I'm interested to see what these things are. They look like some sort of demon thing. Honestly, I don't actually recognise those two models at the back there. I don't know what they are. Some sort of demon perhaps, but I have no idea. Maybe I'll have a look. But what do we have on here? I mean, we definitely have, you know, the one that everybody does as Rick and Morty or whatever, the this one here. There's definitely one of those ones in the picture, but they're in Death Guard green models. They're in Death Guard green plastic. I can definitely see Dark Imperium Space Marines or Plague Marines. That model there specifically I recognise as being from Dark Imperium. They're just the way he's running forward holding the bolt pistol. On the left near the tanks. Oh, this thing, that's one of them. Yeah, I've got one of them to paint, and I'll be doing a video on those as well. You don't like that pose? What, of the Poxwalker, Wayne? You don't like the coat? I count 32 Poxwalkers, but these guys here, we can see there are some here. We're going to get some Chaos Cultists. They are definitely cultists, not Poxwalkers. I count 32. If we've got 6 there, if we get 2 lots of the 6, that gives us 12. That would then give us 20, so we get some Dark Imperium Poxwalkers as well. And that would give us 32. Coat bad. Yeah, you know what I did? Dry brushed it. Painted it brown, dry brushed it lighter brown. Washed it in brown. Done. Yeah, we're definitely getting Dark Imperium, because we're gonna get a chaos. You see, I've got a lot of these models left. I've got Lord of Contagion there, which we've got coming there. So it looks to me like we're getting the easy build stuff, we're getting a Dark Imperium box set along with some tanks and possibly some spawn as well. Let's have I wonder if we can, if I can find, if I have a look, I can possibly find those models online. Yep, Chaos Spawn. That looks about right, but are we going to get multiple options? It looks like we might even get a multi-option kit. It does look like it's Chaos Spawn though, you were right there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You're now checking your Death Guard Codex. Yeah, I mean, I do wish I kind of had the Codex in front of me. Actually, I'd give it a go. I'd have a look. But yeah, it definitely looks like, yeah. So we've got Typhus. I was just having a look to see how many times. It looks to me like we're gonna get the easy build stuff twice. So we got the and we already know it was issue number 2 and issue number 6. We're getting those Marines twice. I think what will happen is we'll get these easy build Poxwalkers twice, and then we'll get a Death Guard load of Poxwalkers, but we might only get 10 at a time because they're 2 identical sprues. We've got some Chaos Cultists. Again, it looks like there's 2 of them. I can see 2 the same, so by the looks of it, I don't know. They look like slotters. Are they easy? Chaos Cultists easy build. I'm just having a look at the website at the same time while I'm looking. They are 10 components, 5 Citadel round bases, which make 5 Chaos Cultists. Hooded, exceptionally detailed snap fit models. Yep. So they're very easy to build models, and we get 5 of them in a box, and we're going to get 10 Chaos Cultists. So we've got the Blight. Is it a Blight Bringer? The guy with the bell. Yeah, we're going to get a handful of the. We got a Plague Cast. There's definitely a Dark Imperium box set here. Which, well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, they're obviously going to be giving us, yeah, whatever's cheapest for them to give us. And things like the Dark Imperium box set is one of them. It gives us a handful of Marines, which I've already got as well, so I'll be doubling those up. Entries for spawn in the codex, but no pictures. No, but I did have a look at the Chaos Spawn on the GW website, and they're there. They are multi-part plastic kit, 2 Wretched Chaos Spawn, featuring a wide variety of optional parts for customization and personalization. Yet the pictures for the spawn on the GW website is different than the spawn you can see in this picture. So are we going to get options? Now there's an interesting thought. I have 2 whole sets of Death Guard from Dark Imperium, but no Marines. What, no Dark Imperium Plague Marines, or no Primaris Marines? Because speaking of them, let's have a look and see what we get on this side, because I haven't thought about this. See, they are definitely, there is a box here, the Space Marine Heroes. We got a captain in Cataphracti Terminator armor there. That's older Mark armor, but they're not necessarily I doubt it. Like I said, they do what they do cheaply. Yeah, I don't know. No problem. I swap mine for another set of Death Guard. Right. Okay. So you'll have, come the end of this Conquest magazine, you'll have 3 sets of Death Guard Marines. But you see, the thing is, what you could do is each set of Marines, you just paint them slightly different, and then you've got, yeah, they would look different. So you wouldn't actually feel like you've got the same Marines 3 times. And then obviously when you mix and match them, or kit bash them, convert them. You had plenty of practice indeed. Space Marine, I want to say Heroes, is that? Space Marine Heroes. No, it's not those, because you're not getting there, because they're Finecast. There we go, Space Marine Heroes, definitely. You get them for 30 quid. It's, we're definitely getting these 2. They're not. So we're getting a, yeah, Terminator Captain in Cataphracti armor. And a Chaplain. Oh, is that what he is? Is that a Chaplain? Well, that's what that is there. I've no idea. Right, you've no idea. Well, that is what you get from Imperial Knights Renegade. We're going to get some containers and crates from, yeah. These are the Rise of Pattern Ruins. These are the objective markers, which is interesting. We've got some thermic plasma conduits. The plasma regulator bit of terrain. Rise of Pattern Ruins. The what do they call it? The arc reactor thing? No, not an arc reactor, is it? That's oh, I can't remember what it's called now. I could try and find it on here. We're getting a lot of industrial terrain, that's for sure. The hemotrope reactor, and you get those 2 for that. That's called the Sector Mechanicus Galvanic Magnavant, whatever. You get a set of Minotaurum armoured containers, along with the crates, the containers, the crates and the barrels. They're all worth 30 quid. We're getting the servo haulers, which are the cranes and stuff. So we've got the objective markers, and we're also getting what else we getting? We got the thermic plasma conduits, the thermic plasma regulators are these ones, and then on top of all of that, we're also getting a set of, I can't remember exactly what it's called, so I'll just have a quick look. If I remember, I've lost the terrain. All terrain, there we go, that's what we're looking for. Sector Imperialis objectives. Sector Imperialis objectives are what these are, with a doomsday device and what is that? Antennae and all sorts of things like that. But objective markers, yes, yeah, the full set of objective markers by the looks of it. Whether we're going to get the clear plastic bit that goes with the Stasis tube, I don't know. It would be nice if we do. Ah, there we go. It's called Battlefield Accessories, which is where you get some tank traps, a pallet of all things, just a random pallet, handful of boxes, a handful more of boxes, and some ammo crates. To be honest, you're getting a really nice amount of terrain in this actually. Some of it is, it's mostly the older stuff, but then the thermic plasma regulators and conduits are actually pretty cheap, pretty new, and those servo haulers. I mean, you're not gonna get a lot of. I don't know how much space that would take up, but you know. So all the terrain is themed around industry. Yes, it is. The first map we got was labelled cargo bay, so perhaps the other maps will be themed around games on board a ship, maybe, or a hive world. One of the reasons I went for the subscription, I would say it's, manufactorum industry. Yeah, definitely. Which is kind of cool. At least it's all nicely kind of themed. I'm looking forward to this, especially if, obviously once you start expanding a collection as well into, I'm expanding, all of mine is for kill team, so I've already got some, I've got a Renegade night box already, so I've already got the, that piece of terrain in the centre, so it'd be nice to get another one of those as well. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. I don't know when it is when we're going to start getting some terrain. I'm surprised. I am surprised. I thought that perhaps they would give us maybe a bit of terrain before they started doubling up. Honestly, even if it was just a crate, considering the mat that we get with the magazine has got crates on it, or containers. I'm surprised that they didn't give us, some container terrain. That would be nice. That way we can kind of put the containers on where the terrain is. But I don't know. But it's 8:05. I've been waffling on for an hour and a half. I'm not worried about it yet. I would rather have a Death Guard character. I would much rather have a Death Guard character, yes. That I am miffed off with that. I don't think there was any need for us to, Death Guard character, for goodness sake. Why have we not got one of those? 80 issues. Yeah, it's going to be a long time. Well, I say a long time. It's going to be less time than it takes for the Warhammer novels, which I am collecting those as well. And you're getting this. Hang on, where are we? Up the top there. Yeah, we're getting the same amount of those, and we're only just over halfway, and it's already been over a year. Well, because GW want to sell loads of Marines. I don't know. We love them really, don't we? I mean, we do. We love them really. No matter what they do to us, all the money that they send make us spend. We love them really. But yeah, it's what, 80 weeks is a year and a bit. It's 52 weeks in the year, plus another 30 weeks. So it's about 18 months or so, and we'll have all these done. Not like those Conquest, not Conquest, the Warhammer Legends. That's the one, isn't it? Warhammer Legends, which is 80 over every fortnight. So that's 18 months times by 2, which is 3 years. And we're only just halfway through that now. So that's a long time. I didn't know you worked for GW. I've never managed to work for GW before. I'm not sure I want to, but you know. Right. So I think that's me done for the night. Actually, to be fair, I do have. Actually, I tell you what I will say is, we've got the. Over here. We've got the attack bike from last week, from Thursday last week. That needs priming. The big problem I have is that I do not know what I want to collect. Kill team. Now, honestly, I tell you what, if you're struggling to decide what army you want to collect, go out, buy kill team. It'll cost you a little bit of cash, but buy kill team, and then that way you can try all of your armies, and you haven't bought an entire army just to realise you don't like it. All you got to do is you go out, you buy a unit or two, try it out, and if you like it, then great, carry on building it up into a big 40k. If not, then you haven't wasted a ton of cash on a handful of units you don't like. So that's what I would say. Now, what I would say though is I've got this needs priming. Now, I'm not going to do it just yet, but make sure you've got me on Twitch, because I don't stream from the airbrush booth on YouTube and Facebook. It doesn't work because I can't talk to the computer. I literally just have my phone next to me and I can chat in the Twitch chat. Keep an eye on that. I can't tell you when it's going to be, but I think tonight I'm going to get that primed, ready for Thursday. So yeah, you've never played Kill Team, right? I'm going to have to bring Kill Team to the club at some point. I think I won't be gaming pure for the models. Feel free. There's nothing wrong with not playing the game, you know. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter what army you collect, because at the end of the day, if you just enjoy painting, then just pick up a model that you like the look of and paint it. You know, if you're not going to play with it, don't worry about only collecting one thing. It's perfectly fine to do that. But so, Wayne, Tim, I think I'm going to end it there for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It has been a blast. You've kept me awake. I'm still awake. I nearly fell asleep last time I was doing one of these shows. But no, I'm awake all the way through to the end, so thank you very much for joining me. I will point out anybody who comes along and watches after the fact, or if anybody wants to have a look in the future, don't forget to check out the links below. All of my social media is down there, and anybody who wishes to help support the channel is as much or as little as you want. The Patreon link and PayPal is down there if you want to help support the channel, but do not feel obliged to do so. Do so at your leisure. And that just leaves me to say, Tim, Wayne and everybody else, thank you for joining me this time. I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-ra.